Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you my experience flying ANA's the room business class versus premium economy. So without further ado, let's get the video started. I just made it through priority security, which was included in my business class ticket, and that was really nice since the security line was pretty long today and that really sped things up. But now I'm going to be heading over to the United Polaris Lounge, which is included with my business class ticket. I just made it here to Narita Airport and I passed through security. What's great with premium economy is you do get priority baggage and you also get access to the ANA Business Class Lounge, which is one of my favorite lounges. At the ANA Business Class Lounge, you have a great view of the tarmac and the food there is also awesome. So let's go. The United Polaris Lounge is modern and spacious, and it's a great way to escape from the crowds in the terminal. I made a quick stop for lunch at their restaurant inside of the lounge. The interior was beautiful, and I really loved the vibe of the restaurant. However, to be honest, the food was just alright. Considering how nice this lounge is, I hoped the food would taste a little bit better, but it wasn't bad by any means. I just knew that the food on the flight would be a lot better. For premium economy passengers flying out of Narita, they get access to the ANA Business Class Lounge, which is a huge perk. Unfortunately, premium economy passengers in San Francisco are stuck at the United Club Lounge. It is safe to say, based off the reviews and photos, that this is one of the worst lounges I've ever seen. Thankfully for me, the ANA Lounge was incredible, and I actually prefer it over the United Polaris Lounge. I mean, they literally have a robot rice machine, just look at that. And without a doubt, their food is incredible. I love their Japanese curry. For my drink, I ordered their signature citrus kabosi drink, and this is my favorite drink to get whenever I fly on ANA. That is delicious. It just tastes like freshly squeezed yuzu juice, wonderfully citrusy, slightly tart, and a little bit sweet since it's made with honey, and this is the perfect drink for your flight. Of course, flying in premium economy, I had to get the citrus kabosi drink again, and this time it came in a paper cup. Before the main meal, they brought out a little bit of small bites. They brought out some mozzarella and marinated vegetables, as well as pork pate. That is absolutely delicious. You got fresh, tender mozzarella covered in a creamy pesto sauce. This is just a perfect little thing to just stimulate your appetite at the very beginning of the meal. The next selection of dishes before the main course have just come out. I'm going to be starting off with the cold sesame tofu. That is delicious. You have a buttery, rich sesame tofu and then a little bit of soy flavor as well. We also have a little bit of the smoked duck to try as well, just a singular piece. Oh yeah, you can't go wrong with the duck eater. I love that it's a cut of the dark meat to get a really rich and earthy flavor, and I love how there's also a nice layer of skin on top as well, which adds that extra touch. One of my favorite dishes last time was this seared yellowtail salad with wasabi dressing. Oh, that is just incredible. If you love sashimi, this is going to be great for you. The dressing is just this wonderfully aromatic flavor of ginger and wasabi, and then the fish itself is so clean tasting, and I really love how the yellowtail is seared, because it really just brings out the natural, delicious, sweet flavor of the fish. My entree just came out, and the Japanese meal comes with the grilled rockfish and the sweet sake sauce. This is seriously unbelievable that I'm having this high quality of food on a plane. The fish is so delicate and tender, and the sweet sake is the perfect touch. It just brings this gentle yet rich sweetness that pairs perfectly with the fish. Of course, I couldn't forget about dessert. For a choice of dessert, they either had a brownie or a cheese and fruit, so I decided to go for their chocolate brownie and a raspberry sauce. I'm definitely impressed with the brownie. It's really high quality. I love the chocolate they use in there. It's ultra rich and chocolatey. It's nice and sweet, but the best part about it is on top you have raspberry sauce, so it feels nice and luxurious, and you also have vanilla sauce on the bottom. And not to mention, it's a really large portion, so you're definitely going to be satisfied after enjoying this brownie for dessert. They just brought out the special meal. The way I got the special meal is I pre-ordered it right when I booked my flight, and the cost was pretty cheap since it was only around $15. The presentation is quite nice because all the food is plated in real dishes. They also give you real silverware and a menu. For an appetizer, I had the chicken and green papaya salad. The chicken was juicy and tender. The green papaya was crisp and covered in an aromatic mustard dressing. The main was beef and demi-glace sauce. There were huge chunks of fatty beef covered in a rich, earthy, and flavorful demi-glace sauce, and this was definitely a great dish. The highlight of the meal was dessert, which was this fancy peach mousse. This was like a freshly made meal at a 4-star restaurant, so trust me, you will not be disappointed. Now that meal service is finished, I'm going to give you a tour of this incredible business class suite, and it's always been on my bucket list to fly on an airline suite. First of all, I gotta show you the amount of legroom in this seat. So far, I can stretch my legs all the way out, and I can't even touch the back of the seat because there's plenty of room there. And then later, I'm going to show you how the lay flat bed works. But for now, let's go over all the other amenities that we get with this seat. Another cool feature of the seat are the windows, since they electronically can be raised and open. There's also multiple seat features. Currently, the seating position is in a dining position, which means it's straight up. There's also a position for takeoff, which is slightly reclined. And then there's a third position, and I'm not quite sure what that one is. There's also various lights on here as well for reading lights. If we hit this first light right here, it looks like this one is good for the dining, since it shines right here, and eventually it ends up going onto the tray table, which is tucked in right in this little section. This button right here is for the reading lights, and this is going to be great if you want to read a book in the dark. Right here, there's one more light, and that just lights up right underneath the screen. So I guess that's kind of cool. It's just like a little bit of mood lighting. The best feature, however, is the sliding doors to make up the suite. The first button is right up here next to the screen, and then your second button is right here next to your armrest. First, if we press the button on the side, it brings up this little side divider. And then if we hit this button, it's going to close the suite fully. And just like that, you have your little private suite. And then if we want to remove the barriers, we can go ahead and press this one straight down. And then we can press this one to the side. Also, another important feature right here is we got a USB port that you can use to charge your phone. Now I'm going to be showing you how the lay flat bed works. First of all, they give you 2 pillows. This white one is more of a firmer one. This blue pillow is a nice, soft and fluffy one. You also have a blanket, which I won't be needing since it's a pretty warm flight. And finally, there's a mat for you to place down on your seat before you lay down. For the lay flat bed, I believe this third button is the button to press to make it flat, since I've already tried out the other 2 buttons. Let's go ahead and turn this into a full flat bed. And just like that, we are now laying flat. The last step of this full flat bed is we're going to go ahead and place this comfortable mattress down. On top you have the design, and then on the bottom you have this blue part that is actually going to be touching the seat. Now that I've placed down my cushion and my pillow, let's see how this feels. Wow, that is so nice. It is very comfortable, and you are certainly going to have a great night's rest. However, I'm personally probably not going to be sleeping since this is a daytime flight. I also noticed that these pillows are huge compared to the pillows they had last year in business class. These pillows are pretty much full size and they definitely do fit the room quite nicely. The room is also very spacious. I'm only 5'3", but there's plenty of room for me to stick my feet out. However, I heard for taller people that are like 6 feet or taller, they do have to rotate their body a bit and sleep diagonal, but everybody says it's still quite comfortable. The room suite is actually ridiculously wide. I mean, look, I could practically stretch out my body almost the entire way because of how wide the seat is. This is quite comfortable for a lay flat bed. I mean, the seat itself is already nice and cushy and padded, and then on top of that you have the mattress, so once you lay down on top of the mattress pad and the pillow and the soft seat, it is really comfortable, and I definitely do notice it being a lot more cushy and soft compared to the old ANA business class that I flew on last year. I want to give you a little seat tour. First off, we just have our regular window shades, which are standard, just a plastic cover. Then once you open it, you can look out the window. As far as legroom goes, there's plenty of room for me. Although I'm quite short and I'm only 5'3", I can fit really comfortably in here. We also have a footrest that you can pull all the way down, that goes down here, and then to adjust it you just give it a little click up, and as you can see it kind of notches up, so you can just raise it to your desired height, and this is actually quite nice. Right here you have two control buttons. One is for the footrest and another one is for the recline. So I believe the footrest button is going to bring out a bottom footrest, so let's see. And just like that, we do get a nice bottom footrest. Well, it looks like this is all the footrest goes up, and I guess if anything it's more of a leg rest just to rest your legs on, and it's pretty decent. What I'm really curious about is how good the recline is going to be. Oh, that is incredible. That is a lot of recline, and it feels really nice. Once again, I pulled out the footrest that comes up from under the seat, and now it feels quite nice because I can really recline and lay back, and it feels like a nice plush recliner chair. And this is also definitely the most plush and soft premium economy seat that I've ever sat in. Up overhead, we also have air vents, which are letting out some cool air. And then we also have reading lights right above us. Right down here, we have another remote with some little controls. I believe this little button right here turns on the reading lights. After clicking the button once, it turned on one reading light, and if I click the button again, it turns the light right back on. The one thing that's a little odd is the lights are reversed. When I turn on the reading light, it actually turns my seat partner's reading light on, so it lights them up, and then when they press the reading light button, it lights up my reading light, so that's a little odd. I'm not sure if that's just a mistake on the seat, or it's meant to be like that on purpose. Right here we have another reading light, which you can move around and adjust, and to turn it on, all you have to do is click this button. Now let's go over amenities, and everything comes in this plastic bag. First of all, we have our ANA slippers, and these are quite comfortable actually, since I used these last year and they were pretty nice. We also have ourselves some headphones, and of course we have an amenity bag, and actually recently they switched their amenity bags from leather to fabric to be more environmentally friendly, but it still feels like a decent quality bag. Right inside of our amenity bag, we have a little bit of lip balm as well as body lotion. They also give you what I believe to be a reusable bag. That's actually everything that they give you in an amenity bag, but they have more items in the bathroom like mouthwash, toothpaste, and toothbrushes, so you really have everything you need on this flight. Now I want to show you some of the amenities I got. First off, there's already a blanket waiting for me on the seat. This blanket feels nice and soft and plush, however it is quite thin, but since this is a warm flight, I won't be needing this blanket anyways. Next off we have our pillow, and this does feel like a really thin and not super comfortable pillow. I mean, if you can look at it, I'm just really squishing it, and it kind of feels like an empty pillowcase with not much inside of it. This is also not the biggest pillow either. If you can see, it kind of takes up this much room on my arm, and I have really short arms. They also tucked in some headphones and slippers into my seat. These are the slippers. They're pretty decent. They're made out of cloth. They're a little bit on the thin side, but these are the same slippers that business class passengers get. We also have headphones, and these are a decent size. I really like how they wrap around your ear, and they're not just like some cheap earbuds. The flight attendant walked around and also handed out some more amenities. I picked up these earplugs and an eye mask. On the cart they also had a toothbrush and toothpaste as well as a face mask, however I didn't take those. Right here we have the remote for the giant screen, and on it you also have the flight attendant call button. The screen itself is absolutely gigantic. Just for reference, here's how my hand looks against the screen. I mean, it's really hard to tell, but this is actually huge because it's bigger than a computer monitor that I have at home. Right now it's pulled up to the camera view, and we can quickly change it to the forward view as well. And overall, I really just love that they have the screen feature, since it's really nice to look at the scenery as you're flying around. And now let's go over to in-flight entertainment. This is the main home screen once you go to the entertainment section. Let's take a look and see what types of movies they have. It definitely looks like they have a nice selection of tons of Hollywood movies, so definitely gonna find something interesting for everyone, as they have such a great selection of many different blockbuster movies. We also have this huge in-flight entertainment screen, and if you look at this, here's my hand. It is really so big. This is the biggest screen I've ever seen in premium economy. This is the home screen, and once you click continue, you can see all the different sections they have, everything from movies to videos and more. As far as movie selection goes, they have so many different movies. Now that we have around 5.5 hours left in our flight, I think it's the perfect time to do the call button challenge. Wow, the service on that was incredibly fast. It only took 27 seconds. Now that we're around halfway through our flight, I think it's the perfect time to do the call button challenge. That was some ridiculously speedy service. The flight attendant came in only about 16 seconds. I ordered some hot green tea, and she came back with my order around 30 seconds later. For breakfast, the first item I want to start off with is their fried chicken and eggplant, which is their small dish, and that just sounds ridiculously decadent and delicious. That is another solid dish. I love the juicy eggplant, and the chicken is really nice and moist as well. It's very simply flavored, so it's a very mild dish, but I'm never gonna say no to eggplant and fried chicken for breakfast. And for the main dish, this time we have the simmered mackerel. Mackerel is one of my favorite fish to eat, especially on A&E. They do it so perfectly because it is such a fatty and oily fish. It really has so much flavor, and it tastes like it was just freshly made. Even though I've already been on a plane for hours, it just tastes like it's been freshly made, which is just kind of mind-boggling. And then it's in this beautiful sauce. It's just like a sweet and savory soy sauce. And there's also some green onions and lotus root in there as well. And of course, you gotta have rice on the side. Back in premium economy, I was just served a regular economy breakfast, which was salmon flakes over rice. Unfortunately, the portion size was microscopic. My hand was literally bigger than the food container, and I have pretty small hands. At least the taste was decent for economy food, but it was a bit on the salty side. Now that I'm back home, I want to give you my final thoughts on my experience flying A&E's The Room Business Class versus Premium Economy. The first thing I want to go over is the airport experience. For one, business class had priority security, which was a nice perk. However, Premium Economy did not come with priority security. One thing the business class and premium economy did come with is priority baggage, which I think is a pretty nice perk. Lounge access was also quite interesting. When flying out of US airports, the business class passengers usually get access to a more premium lounge, and then the premium economy passengers are stuck with a sad lounge like the United Club lounge. However, when flying out of Narita, both the business class passengers and the premium economy passengers get to use the A&E business class lounge, and I think that is a huge perk for premium economy because that is a really nice lounge. Now for a big one, seat comfort. The business class suite was ridiculous, and I actually looked it up, and apparently it's the largest business class seat in any airline, so I think that's pretty impressive. It felt so spacious, and I really loved the closing doors that turned it into a suite because it made it feel more private. However, I was also really impressed with the quality of premium economy. I mean, the seats themselves were very plush, and honestly they were just as soft as the seat in business class. And also, I was impressed with the legroom because this is the most legroom I've ever had in a premium economy seat. As someone that's 5'3", I was literally able to stretch my legs all the way out and use the footrest, and it honestly fit me perfectly, so I really couldn't ask for much more room in premium economy, and I also thought the recline was impressive, so that should say something. Coming from a short person, I think if you're 5'3" or taller, you're definitely going to appreciate the room in premium economy. Now for food, and this one is pretty interesting. In business class, I really loved my food. I had 2 huge meals. The first one was a lunch, and there was just so many different items. I really loved everything from the fish to all the different sides and the dessert. Breakfast was a pretty sizable portion as well, and I was really impressed with the high quality ingredients that they used to make their business class meals, and it honestly just tasted like a freshly cooked 5-star meal. In premium economy, the whole food situation was pretty interesting. Since I was flying on a flight out of Japan, for my first meal, I was able to order the paid exclusive meal, and I think that's totally worth it because the portion is significantly bigger than the regular economy meal they normally served, and again, they use high quality ingredients, and this honestly tasted more of like a freshly cooked 4-star meal. And yes, the portion wasn't as big as business class, but I really don't think you're going to be disappointed eating that quality of food on a plane. The one unfortunate thing with premium economy is I do wish you were able to order another paid exclusive meal for breakfast, because I feel like that would really elevate the experience. And another thing I think they really need to work on improving is they need to have at least another paid exclusive meal option on flights that are going to Japan, since right now you can only get the paid exclusive meal on flights leaving Japan, and I think that's a downside. Finally, the last area I want to cover is the service. The service in business class was on a whole nother level, and it was the best service I've ever had on a flight, so that is definitely a huge perk of business class, because you really feel the hospitality of all the flight attendants. While the service was over the top and crazy good in business class, I will still say the service in premium economy was quite nice as well. I actually enjoyed chatting with one of the flight attendants, and overall, I thought all the flight attendants were quite helpful and friendly. I'll just say it wasn't quite the over-the-top service that you get in business class that really makes you feel like royalty. Now I know what you're all thinking, and this is probably what you clicked on the video to find out. Which class is more worth it? Is it the room business class, or is it premium economy? If you're going to be booking your ticket with miles and you're trying to use credit card points to convert into airline miles, I'll say it's totally worth it to get the ANA's the room business class because it's such an unforgettable experience. However, if you're paying out of pocket for your ticket, I'll say it's definitely more worth it to fly premium economy just because business class costs so much more. The best way I can sum up business class and premium economy is this. Business class is a full-on experience, and it's like starting your vacation early. You're treated to a wonderfully luxury suite, and it's really like your own mini hotel room. You serve 5-star high-quality gourmet meals, and you can watch movies on basically a TV screen. However, I will say premium economy is still a very comfortable way to fly. You are treated to plush and soft seats with an ample amount of legroom and quality service. However, you might want to bring some of your own food in addition to the economy meals since they're so small and microscopic. Either way, I think you're going to arrive at your destination feeling refreshed, having such a comfortable seat and a great amount of legroom. Now I know what some of you are thinking. You're probably thinking, well, is it even worth it to fly premium economy over economy class? And I will say that it is, because once you add up everything, especially like the quality of the seats and the legroom, I think it definitely is worth the upgrade from economy. Anyways, I really hope you all enjoyed this versus video and found it helpful. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.